Whoever don't like it, bring it. Bring it. I don't give a bring it. Bring it.
They got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play this shit.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label exec.
For decades, a sinister rumor echoed through the halls of the music industry, a whisper about powerful executives trading multi-million-dollar record deals for total submission. When rap icon DMX stepped into the light to expose the predatory nature of the business, the world refused to listen. They labeled him bitter, jealous, and unhinged, choosing to protect the status quo rather than face the uncomfortable truth. But history is finally catching up. With the fall of legendary industry titans like Clive Davis and a sudden flood of undeniable receipts breaking the internet, the chilling reality is staring us right in the face. DMX was right about everything.
And it's like there's too much of that going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now they want you all up under this, you know, sitting at the going to dinner with them and like that. These had the nerve to tell me one time, I said, yo.
Long before today's massive scandals came to light, X risked his entire career to blow the whistle on the creepy power dynamics controlling the rap game. He openly claimed that ruthless label heads expected male artists to compromise their dignity and perform intimate favors just to get a shot at stardom. While others allegedly bowed to the pressure, X was one of the few who refused to play their games. Take a look at this footage from nearly 20 years ago, where DMX completely strips away the glamour and lays bare the industry's absolute darkest secrets. Behind closed doors, the music industry was never just about talent. It was about total control. When DMX spoke out, his raw fury wasn't just performance, it was a desperate rejection of a corrupt system. X exposed a dark reality where the new breed of artists traded their dignity for airplay, bending to the whims of predatory label executives who demanded intimate favors and forced compliance.
Why can't I have two videos playing at the same time? Oh, because we don't want your videos to compete with each other. But then I told fucking TV, I ain't gonna say no artist names, but they got 3 videos back to back.
Exactly.
I'm like, you feeding me shit, exactly. And you sucking these. It's all crazy, man.
He refused to sit at their dinners, play their twisted political games, or accept their blatant favoritism. When the gatekeepers tried to suppress his music while fast-tracking others, DMX walked away from the corporate offices entirely, choosing his integrity over their rigged version of stardom. While many modern viewers watch this resurfaced footage and immediately point fingers at Diddy, the rock goes far deeper than a single mogul. The real story lies in the shadows. With the powerful architects and enablers, like Clive Davis, who funded, shaped, and allegedly covered up this toxic behavior for decades. Industry insiders like Jaguar Wright have long hinted at these deep-seated power dynamics, tracing them back to the 90s mentorship pipelines where young executives were molded into the system. This isn't a simple rumor about private lives. It is a disturbing look at how a powerful elite weaponized wealth and influence to exploit artists and gatekeep the entire culture of hip-hop.
Wrong, it's like, yo, I had to put up there, man. After that, I was like, I'm not going to.
He was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston. I said it. And there were rappers there from all over the country. They were invited to the home of Clive Davis, along with members of the CIA.
The dark lineage of control inside the music industry allegedly traces back to a single mastermind, passing down a cycle of exploitation from generation to generation. Insiders claim that Diddy didn't invent his predatory playbook, he merely perfected what his mentors taught him. When Andre Harrell abruptly fired Diddy from Uptown Records in 1993, Diddy miraculously launched his legendary Bad Boy Records empire just 2 weeks later. Rumors have swirled for decades that this sudden, massive funding came at a horrific psychological cost, with allegations that Diddy literally had to get on his knees for Arista chief Clive Davis to secure the deal. This alleged transaction locked Diddy into a system of manipulation that he would later inflict on his own artists for decades to come, backed by the immense power of the industry's ultimate puppet master. The whispers surrounding Clive Davis took a concrete turn in 2013 when, at 80 years old, he officially came out as bisexual in his memoir, but insiders insist this has never been about sexual orientation, but rather about predatory power.
FBI, which they didn't understand why the government was there, including many directors and CEOs of the private prisons throughout the United States was at that meeting in the mansion of Clyde Davis. And they were...
A disturbing pattern of tragedy follows this legacy, with iconic artists like Whitney Houston and Phyllis Hyman meeting untimely, mysterious deaths after threatening to expose the industry's darkest secrets. Despite decades of terrifying allegations involving the exploitation of both adults and minors, Davis remained completely untouchable. Many industry veterans believe his immunity wasn't just due to his wealth, but rather a rumored, deeply unsettling connection to powerful intelligence agencies that protected him while he controlled the culture from the shadows.
Telling these rappers, you need to create songs talking about police, calling black women bees and hoes.
This sinister web allegedly extends far beyond corporate music boards, reaching into the highest echelons of government and private enterprise. Rumors have long persisted of a clandestine 1995 meeting hosted at Clive Davis's Beverly Hills mansion, where top-tier rappers from across the country found themselves in the same room as representatives from the CIA, the FBI, and CEOs of private American prisons. According to these chilling accounts, the agenda was pure social engineering. Artists were allegedly pressured to inject toxic, hyperviolent, and deeply misogynistic themes into their music. The ultimate goal, as the theory suggests, was to intentionally degrade the culture and systematically fill the beds of private penitentiaries, positioning Davis not just as a music mogul, but as a shadow architect utilizing hip-hop for mass manipulation. This intersection of absolute control feeds directly into the industry's most whispered about secret, the gay mafia. While critics often dismiss the term as mere prejudice, numerous high-profile industry veterans insist this shadow network of immensely powerful men is a terrifying reality spanning entertainment, fashion, and politics. Operating like a highly organized cartel, this elite faction allegedly pulls the strings from the darkness, imposing severe career repercussions on anyone who dares to speak out. From legendary Hollywood power agent Michael Ovitz blaming this faction for his professional downfall in 2002, to comedian Adam Carolla warning in 2014 that navigating Hollywood meant answering to their strict demands, the consensus among insiders remains clear. Cross this invisible line, and your career is effectively erased. The reaching influence of this shadow syndicate has been openly acknowledged by some of the biggest names in comedy and media. In 2014, political commentator Bill Maher bluntly warned that crossing this network was a career death sentence, a sentiment later echoed by comedian Lavelle Crawford, who admitted he stopped telling certain jokes out of sheer terror after watching the industry ruthlessly target Tracy Morgan. According to these public figures, this hidden elite possesses the unparalleled power to completely shut down anyone who steps out of line, enforcing a strict code of silence across Hollywood. Within the rap world, iconic insiders have painted an even more alarming picture of total industry capture. Back in 2011, Fat Joe explicitly stated that hip-hop is entirely controlled by this quiet cartel, noting that they don't just occupy the recording booths. They run the radio stations, chair the magazine editorial boards, and dictate who wins major awards. Legends like Too Short have validated these claims, admitting that whispering about these secrets since the 1990s has taught him one thing: exposing them invites real-world danger. Taking the conspiracy a step further, former Interscope and Def Jam artist Smart recently revealed that this network goes far beyond hidden identities, alleging that these powerful executives utilize dark, binding rituals to systematically recruit and compromise artists into their inner circle. According to industry veterans, the mainstream music industry operates less like a business and more like a spiritual battlefield where artists are merely vessels used to manipulate the masses. This hidden system utilizes a brutal form of corporate hazing, mimicking secret societies and elite fraternities where initiates must endure deeply compromising rituals to climb the ladder of success. Insiders allege that these mandatory rites of passage are intentionally designed to strip performers of their autonomy and moral grounding, forcing them to trade their souls for a shot at global stardom. Within this framework, true independence is entirely impossible. To achieve the highest levels of fame, an artist must completely surrender to a corrupt and predatory machine. Ultimately, the dark warnings left behind by hip-hop pioneers like DMX paint a haunting picture of an industry built on systemic exploitation, where human bodies and souls are treated as currency for major record deals. Whether this unseen cartel is viewed as a literal shadow mafia or a metaphor for institutional rot, the tragic histories of its biggest stars suggest a deeply disturbing reality operating just beneath the glamour of the charts. As more hidden documents, historical receipts, and insider testimonies continue to surface, the public is left to decide for themselves just how far the roots of this manipulation truly reach.